Shit.
Ben, did you want to play that Dota game?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be keen. Unless you really wanna play.
Cheese indeed, Mr. Hop.
Depends how hard we're gonna have to carry you.
Don't know.
Can't be any worse than
Inspired
Payday.
confidence. Oh, believe me.
No. Playing with
No, I
Steve
won't,
Fong.
because you're playing against other people, which means that it's not as bad as Payday.
Alright, see the thing you may not understand about Dota and MOBAs in general.
I've played Dota.
Is-
I
Okay,
understand
so then
Dota
you
enough to
should
know that I
probably-
don't like Dota.
You should probably understand then that it's not about the people you
Here we go.
verse, it's
This is
about
gonna
the
get
people you're
interesting.
with.
It's gonna get interesting, Hop.
Yes and no.
Oh, it is 100% yes.
I still say yes and no. It is about who you've got with you, but if the other team's just got shit cunts as well, it doesn't matter if your cunts are shit too. Like, I do
Well,
understand.
considering-
Pretty much, Hop.
I was
Pretty
a
much.
shit
Those
cunt.
games where you
Pretty
can
much how it
almost
goes.
never one man carry the team.
Yeah,
I
know you
don't-
can't.
I
Like
don't
said, I've played
understand.
it. I was,
Then
the
why
it,
shit-
then it heavily
that
relies on your
happens,
team.
but
I was the
So
shit
you
cunt
guys
in
can
half a
have a
dozen
listen.
matches when I played with Genocide.
Good old
It's just that
COD.
sometimes you get lucky. The other team's shit as well. Which means even if you are playing with shit cunts, you still have a chance.
And you just made your statement then. Determining factor was still your team.
Because that's kind of what I was saying from the start. I was saying even if you have a shit team, if the other team's shit, it doesn't matter if your team's shit, you still have a chance to win. That was my argument from the very start.
Your argument was yes and no, that you agreed and disagreed.
Yeah, I did. I agreed that it depends on who you're with, but it
Then
also
your
depends on who the
statement
other
you
team
just
with.
made said that you only was you agreed with my statement.
I feel I need a chick to come out with a number. Holding it up at round
Talking to
one.
you is like talking to a brick.
Oh, I just think about stuff logically, and
Yeah, I
there
think
wasn't
that
much
stuff.
logic to your argument.
How's there not much logic to my argument?
Because
If
in your
you've got two
argument, you
shit
supported
teams-
negative and positive sides. In your argument, you didn't support the other one of your point of views, so therefore you couldn't have that point of view in the first place if you had no
What
supporting
point of
evidence
view?
for
My
it.
point of view is that
You
yes,
said that you agreed and you disagreed.
Yes,
At the
and I
moment,
do.
You've
I
only
agree.
provided one point of view from that, not both.
How have I provided one point of view? If you've got a shit
Because
team,
your
you
argument,
don't play well.
said,
If the
oh,
enemy's
you
got a
said-
shit team, you can still win. It is two different points, and both my points, and they are both answered.
But the thing is, you said it is about even if the enemy team is bad and your team is bad, you still have a chance. Therefore, you've incorporated your own team in that statement.
Yes, which basically means that when
Which
you
means
say
you're
that
supporting the fact that it does rely on your team and not
Dude,
about the other team.
I never said it didn't. You said it relies wholly on your team. I said
It
yes
does
and
rely
no.
wholly on your team.
Yes and no. No, it doesn't. Not wholly on your
Yes,
team.
it
It
does.
Not
also
all the time.
relies
No,
on
it
what the
doesn't.
other enemy
Yes,
team's
it
doing as
does.
well.
Not only your team.
If you're playing, dude, if you've got two teams of fucking humans playing a game against each other, dumb cunt, it goes both fucking ways on how good both teams fucking play, not just how yours fucking does.
No, it's all about how your team does. If the other team
Alright,
fucking goes and eats a dick
so
and feeds
football's
100
all
kills,
about how your team does. Cricket's all about how your team does. Every game
it
where
is.
every game where you're
No, it's
versing
not,
another set of
really.
people, it only
it
matters
is.
what your
No, it's
team
not.
does.
I
does.
disagree with that. I
your
think
players
both.
can either play amazingly well, and it doesn't matter how good the other team plays. If your guys play amazingly well, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
What if
that's
what if
sounds-
the what if the other
that
what if the
sounds-
other
no,
team
that's
plays
not fair.
amazingly well?
That's what I mean. The other team doesn't matter about them. Don't you get it? If you're playing the game and you're playing against another team, only your team matters. That's the whole
A game
point,
like
man.
Dota, and I'm trying to understand how you're referring cricket to Dota. They're two completely different
that's
things.
like-
Because
to
you've
be
got
honest,
one
what
team
you just said
versus
is
another
like
team.
saying
If
that
you've got one team of people versing
a
another
pro
team of
team
people,
versus a
I'm
it
not
casual
talking
depends
about
on
one
how
team of people
both
versus
teams
another
do.
team of people. I'm talking about one team of Dota players versus another
Yeah.
team of Dota players.
But
Yes,
you're
which
talking-
means there's
Dota are
two
nothing
teams of
alike.
people, which means it comes down to how both teams play, not just your team. Which means my comment of yes and no is logically valid and
Then
better
you
than
bring
what you're trying
cricket,
to
which
say.
has so many more variables than Dota, has no fucking relevance to this. So you
But it-
can't use that as an argument.
I can. There's
The only
two,
thing that's
two
relevant between this
opposing
and
teams.
Dota is it's two teams.
Yes,
Nothing else
and if
is
there's
the same.
It doesn't matter. There's two
technically,
teams.
your
So many
argument's about
variables in
teamwork.
cricket
I
compared to
don't care
Dota. They're
about
not the same,
variables.
so you can't
We're
use cricket as
going
an
on the
argument.
practicality that you said
can't
it
use cricket
only
as an
matters
argument.
what
Full
your
stop.
team does. If you're playing against another team of humans, it doesn't matter just what your team does. It also matters what the other team does. It's like basically saying, hey, multiplayer games don't matter because they're single-player games, because as long as I'm playing them, it doesn't matter. That's not true.
I said it revolves around your team, not around you.
It doesn't revolve around your team.
So I don't know
It
why you're
revolves
trying to
around
pull single player into this
Revolves
now.
around both
Because it
teams.
revolves around both teams, and you're only talking about your team, like there's not another team of people in the game. And if your team's really good, you'll probably do really good. But if the enemy team's really good, you have to work harder, which means it doesn't matter how good your team is, you have the ability to lose because the other team could be just as good.
Yeah, but see the thing is though, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about how the other team plays, because in the end of the day, if your team plays well, like really, really well, then you're doing all you can.
Then there's no point in playing against other people, because if your team's really
User joined
good
your
and
channel.
it doesn't matter what the other team does, then there's no point in playing the other team, because clearly you're going to win every time just based on the fact that, you know, you've got good people.
No one plays 100% perfect though, otherwise you'd be pro. So therefore you can never be like, oh, you know, I did my best, but you know, nah, I just decided to have an off day today. That shit happens, shit like that happens, but
I still
your
don't,
team.
I still don't
put it
get
this way.
what...
It's a team game. It relies heavily on your team because your team isn't working together. Then there's no way in chance you have a chance of winning.
Yes, I know. But you're playing against
Exactly.
another
Hey,
team,
wake
which
up.
means you have to be aware of what they're doing too. And if you just focus on your own team when you're playing
Yeah,
against
so you
another
have to be
team...
aware. Therefore, your team has to be aware of what the other team is doing. There you go. Therefore, that returns back to how your team is playing.
Yes, but it still depends on how
Exactly.
the other
You just
team's
agreed with
playing.
me.
Well, actually, you did say at the start that it was solely on your team.
Man,
which is
talking,
incorrect.
I'm not even going to bother, because talking this argument is pathetic, because we just end up in this giant circle of you keep saying I agree with you, and like I said at the
You
start
are
of the
agreeing with. Your arguments are agreeing with my
from the
statement.
start of this conversation, did agree with you, but I also disagreed with you that I don't think it's only about what your team does. So the fact
You
that
haven't
you
provided
keep
any
saying that
arguments to
I'm
that.
agreeing with you is irrelevant, because
It's not
I did
all
agree with
about
you
your
from
own
the start.
team. It's not all about your own team.
Yeah, it is.
That's the fact. No, it's not.
It is.
It's not about your own team. That's just it's just one-sided. If you
Yeah,
verse
but
a
dude,
pro
Grizz
team,
is
it wouldn't
Jesus,
matter.
so of course it's one-sided.
If you verse a
User
pro
left
team, no
your
matter how
channel.
good your team is, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but since like you're never gonna verse a pro team. You're
No,
never
but
gonna
that's just
pick
that's
five
the argument.
plebs
though.
out of
The
the
argument
street
and
and go,
the
yeah,
fine
you guys are gonna
fact is
verse
that
the
it doesn't-
fucking
it's not
pro team
solely
today.
on your team. It's not doesn't matter solely on your team.
It is.
No, it doesn't.
You're saying,
In no world-
okay, so you're saying then, if 4 of the 5 players on my team feed 20 kills, as long as the other team don't play together, we're gonna win.
What if they feed 20 kills as well, each? And there's
Well,
2
then
carries.
your team, then it relies on your team to work together
And
to
their
win.
team, depending on their carry. If their carry's shit as well, then they're gonna lose the game. They've lost it for themselves. Your team hasn't done shit. They've just fed.
Exactly. So therefore, your team isn't doing anything to help your cause.
I don't know where you get your logic from, but you just sound like you're silly.
I don't sound like I'm silly. I'm actually making a logical
No,
argument. You're just
no,
choosing to deny it.
No,
You're just denying it because you're fucking heavily stubborn.
No.
I'd hate to admit it, but it does rely on the enemy team on how they play.
It's both teams, otherwise it
Okay,
wouldn't...
okay, give me
Okay.
a valid reason.
I'll give you a valid reason right now. I'll give you a valid reason right now. You come up against a pro Dota team. You play
You're not
against.
versing pro
No! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! And don't cut me off while I'm trying to explain, because I've sat here and listened to you fucking bitch and whinge about it for half an hour. You come up against a pro Dota team, yeah? You actually draw a game against them, yeah? You draw a game against them.
Can't draw.
Your team will have to work hard as fuck to do that. But if they exactly replicated that exact same game, a bunch of pack of noobs or speds, you're gonna destroy them. And the other way around, if you verse a pack of noobs and you just beat them and you use the exact same tactics against a pack of pro players, you're going to get destroyed. Which therefore means that it relies on the other team as well as yours.
Thing is though, the way the game fucking matchmakes is you're never gonna be versing a
Yeah,
team
but you're
that's
No,
never-
but it doesn't matter.
Matchmaking
Matchmaking doesn't come into it. Matchmaking doesn't come into the battle we're having.
Your argument,
No,
you
you-
used
you're
plebs
not-
versus pros and
Okay,
pros
okay.
versus plebs as an
That's the
argument. So therefore,
extremes.
matchmaking does come into
That's
it.
the extremes, but you could verse a matchmaking team that's higher in the tier and another team that's lower in the tier that you're in. It's going to
What
be the
if-
exact
what
same
if
thing.
there is-
That's using
and what if
extremes.
there
then you
is
have
no
the same fucking
matchmaking?
skill level.
What about if there is
No,
no
you don't.
matchmaking when we're talking about other games, which was Tids'
There's
whole
no
argument?
matchmaking,
It's
you're
not all
gonna
about
find any
Dota.
people.
It's not all about Dota.
Well, my
It's
argument
not
was about
solely
Dota,
on
so
your
yes.
team. It's
Fucking
not solely on your
COD
team.
doesn't bloody rank match
I'm
you.
talking about Dota. I'm not talking about any other
Yeah,
games.
but
I'm not
even
talking about
Dota
cricket,
is
COD,
not-
whatever. I'm
And
talking about Dota.
Tids made it
Dota
Tids
is
made it
not
clear
solely
from
on
the
your
start
team.
that he was talking about all games in relation to multiplayer. It doesn't solely rely on your team. And Dota
Yeah,
is
Dota
included
is
into
okay,
that.
though, 'cause I was talking
no
about
game
Dota.
that
Dota
is
is included in
both
that.
ways.
No, bats. Listen to me.
But
I
but
said
Dota's
from the
included in
get-go,
that.
Dota relies heavily on your team. If the
No,
fact
so
that
now you're
Ted's
saying
brought
heavily.
other examples
Now you're
into
Okay,
saying
the
just
heavily.
Ted's
You
wrong.
said
just
solely
while
before.
he can't
Okay,
respond and
I'm
cut
meaning
me off and
solely,
get
okay?
me
I still stand
agitated.
by
It's
it.
not
Dota
solely.
relies. Yes, it
Even
does.
if you
It's
come up
not.
against two of the same
What if
teams
someone
that
in the
are
other
sort
team
of the
has a shit
same with
game?
your match ranking rank, yeah? If
What if-
your
okay,
team
so
plays
if it
exactly the
doesn't
same
solely
against
rely on
Team
your team, so
A,
you're saying no
as
matter how
is
bad your
exactly
team
the
does, whatever
same
your team
against
does,
Team
you're gonna be
B,
able to 1v5
the
them.
result's going to be
No,
different.
that's not what I'm saying
That
at all.
is reliant
It's
on
not
the
solely on
other
your own
team,
team.
not yours.
It is.
If your team
Alright,
has
no,
an
no, no, no,
average
okay,
game and
no,
the
no, no,
other
I
team
just,
has a
I
shit
explained
game,
it
you're gonna win.
perfectly, I just explained it perfectly to my stream. I'm not going to get angry while I'm saying agitated while I'm saying it. That destroyed my shit last time. Okay, you've got your match ranking, yeah? You come up against Team A, you come up against Team B. They're match made the same. You're guaranteed that they play differently. They're not going to play the same fucking way as each other, yeah? But if your
Exactly,
team,
so it
if
relies
your
on your team.
if your team happens to play both of those teams, but plays them exactly the same way in both matches, the result's going to be different, which means that's reliant on the other team and how they play, which then affects the way that your team work together. Therefore, the other team affects your team. Because you have to work differently every team you come up against because they affect your result. I think that's the best way that I could have explained that. Holy fuck.
Well, I guess you guys have your opinion, but I'm standing by that it solely relies on your
How
team.
do you feel about that, Hopped?
If that was the case, I don't think anyone
I just
would ever
agreed to
rant
disagree, and now you're fucking going at it again.
I'm just
I
saying.
said you guys are
No,
valid.
I
You're
and
the
have
one
your
that's
as
opinion,
well.
I'm
fucking
having my
arguing
opinion.
and
I
giving
stopped.
shit to people and nitpicking the whole
Then why the
time.
fuck did you start laughing about me having my own opinion?
I didn't
When did
laugh.
he laugh at you?
I said I still
You
think.
snick it into your mic. As I said,
I
I have my
said
opinion,
I
you have your
still
opinion, and you
think-
started laughing.
No, I did not.
You did.
I said I
So
still
why did the
think
mic
that.
light up and your laughter
I
came
think
through?
Grizz's fuse is
not
about
laugh.
this big today.
You did actually, but
About
alright.
this big.
Whatever, keep nitpicking.
You don't even know anymore, Hopped. Oh god.
User joined your channel.
Guys, you need to stop getting mad about video games and just fucking relax!
User disconnected from your channel.
He came from stream. This whole debate's been entertaining my stream for like half an hour.
Fine with that.
Oh. So if I make a profit off it, I'll chuck you a cut.
I don't want a profit.
You literally just sounded like a 5-year-old. I don't want a profit!
Fucking 5 now.
Oh shit. Whew. This is great. This is fantastic.